Galatians chapter 5, verse 4, fall from grace.
That doesn't even talk about that.
Let me read you something he read a while ago, and probably you didn't pay attention to it.
I was paying attention.
I don't know. Now listen to it. Listen real carefully. He that believeth on the Son of God hath the witness in himself. He that believeth not in God, listen to this,
I'm listening.
hath made him a liar. Why does he make him a liar? Because he believeth not the record God gave his Son. Well, what is this record? And this is the record, that God hath given to us eternal life, and this life is in his Son. God says, if you don't believe that I give you eternal life, you're making me out a liar, because that's the only kind he gives.
Okay.
And if it's eternal, there's no end to it.
Okay, let me just ask you this then. Were the apostles saved? When Jesus died and raised from the dead, were they saved? Were they in a saved position? They believed. They confessed, Peter confessed that Jesus was the Son of God. Was he
The
saved?
apostles didn't believe
I'm
after
talking to
the
him a
resurrection.
minute. I'm talking to him a minute. He asked me a question. Were they saved when they confessed that Jesus was the Son of God? The verses you just quoted in John 5, the ones you've quoted all down through the book of John, these are written that you might have eternal life. The things about Jesus, were the apostles saved?
I guess they were saved. I don't know. But if they are saved, they had eternal life. I mean,
Okay,
I
all
can't,
right, all right. So if they were saved, you said they have eternal life.
Yeah.
All right, now what happened after Jesus died and he rose? Did not the actual apostles not believe that Jesus was raised from the dead? Let me read it. Luke 25:4, verse 11. This is talking about the women, Mary, the mother of James, and the other Mary. And their words seemed as they were tales, and they believed them not. That's verse 11. And then in verse 25, it says, Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of heart to believe all the prophets have spoken. They didn't even believe that Jesus raised from the dead. Now, could they have continued on and be saved if they hadn't turned around?
But they did.
Oh, but they weren't.
They did though, didn't they?
I asked, could they stay saved? Jesus had to actually do something else to convince his own apostles.
They
that he was.
believed after the resurrection. They did believe in it.
So are you saying that they did believe in it?
They did believe in it.
How
After
did
the
they?
resurrection,
How did
they did.
How did they?
Well, Peter preached on the day of Pentecost.
How did they believe after the resurrection?
They saw him.
Thank you.
They saw him.
They did not believe until they
Right.
saw him.
I agree with
Were
that.
they saved?
When they saw him, they were.
Were they saved before they saw him?
They didn't believe the gospel, no. They were called, though, weren't they?
Wow.
Were
You
they-
just said the apostles were not saved.
Were they called, were they?
Now Peter, for
They-
one, has confessed that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And you've got the thief on the cross being saved, and you've got the apostles being not saved.
The apostles-
Man alive. You say that the thief on the cross actually knew more than these apostles, and both of y'all had to admit that. Lee, you didn't say if they were lost. He upbraided them for their unbelief. Were they lost or saved? Now, he's already said they were lost. That's why you won't get on television right there.
You think so?
I know so. I've done this to every Baptist preacher that has the nerve to get up out behind his pulpit and get out into the public. Every single one of them are begging me to stop playing our debates. And you're one of them too. You won't even get on the platform.
I'm not going to get on it.
You're,
Right.
you know what? Your doctrine, Gary, is actually leaving you in the lurch. Every time we go through these, I'm telling you,
Well, see, if you wrote a lot of stuff, I could do the same thing to you.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you all my DVDs.
Yeah.
I'll give you all my DVDs. And what DVD do you want?
The one
Any DVD
the
you
one
want.
I got,
I got 15 years of it.
the one I already just got was a bunch of lies.
Well, let's answer it. Why don't you answer it?
You know.
You're saying right there to the camera that I
Number one,
lied.
this girl they saw was not a member.
She said she was. Are you calling her a
She
liar?
didn't say she was. Look at the DVD one.
Did she not say she was a member?
She said, I go to Rich Acres, Gary, or Pastor Hughes. We said, who's your preacher? Pastor Hughes.
That's not saying you're a member.
Well, how do you get to be a member here then?
How do you get the member?
Yeah.
Same way you did in the New Testament.
How?
They got saved, and then once they got saved, then we baptized them, and then they would become a member.
They were so basically it's harder to get into the Baptist church than it is to get to heaven. You can't be a member of this Baptist church till you're baptized. Is that what you're saying?
That's what the scriptures teach, so we do what the scriptures teach
Yeah,
us.
okay.